my favorite, you have a lot of meetings and, every room is always different. But this by far is my favorite meeting setup.
Okay.
Because we're all together, we get the round tables, and the round tables are really good for group discussions and that type of thing. But I love when we can sit and all look at each other.
Okay.
We're at one table, basically connected. And so I really do enjoy, and when I knew that we were running a small ship this morning, I was so grateful I was able to text the team over here to say, hey, no round tables this time, and let's put us in a square shape. So I'm so grateful for that and for this reason this morning. So what we're going to start out, y'all already know I love and have come to start all my meetings. And for those that have been praying and have known that I recently had a death in the family, so it really causes me to start my meetings just like this. Get you a breath or two in this morning. Because I'm telling y'all, I do this with teenagers, and it's funny because with teenagers, they always gonna tell you what's on their minds for real, right? But they have reminded me and said, Miss Nina, you forgetting something. And I was thinking to myself, what am I forgetting? But when they taught me, you forgot to breathe this, like we gotta breathe, Miss Nina, it really helped put things into perspective of the importance and the reality that I don't care if you 2, you 12, you 22, you 52, you 82, or like Wade that looks just as good to be 102, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you really appreciate what it means to just breathe. Clark and Jalea, y'all could just fix your food and join us. Thank you. You don't have to worry about shutting anything down. If you want to close those things, that's perfect. Yeah. But other than that, y'all good. But it has really helped me to understand the importance of really just stopping and breathing. And I was doing that before the death, I ain't gonna lie. But after having to go home and funeralize my 32-year-old nephew that just dropped dead of a heart attack, you can't help but stop and just breathe. And thank God for every breath that you take in and that you breathe out. And so, although I love to say, and I know that when you're not breathing, you dead. Like, that's just the reality. But it's one thing to just be talking like this, and I'm talking, and I'm looking at y'all, but it's another thing when you can just stop and breathe. That's just a different type of breath. So, it took me to, as I was thinking about the agenda, what the quote for today was. A lot of meetings, I don't start with quotes, but other meetings, I do start with quotes, but I thought this quote was so fitting, especially for today's meeting, where it says, meetings should have, somebody say should have.
Should have.
Meetings should have as few people as possible, but the right people at the table. It can have as few people as possible, but as long as it's the right people at the table, you got a meeting.
You're right.
Right? And when I thought about that quote, I thought, oh, I should have wrote that one myself.
All right.
Because I am so not about a bunch of meetings. If you know anything about me, if I don't have to have meetings, I'd just rather not.
Okay.
And the few as possible is beneficial. And as long as we at the table with the right people, then I want to be at that table. I don't care if it's one meeting or I don't care if it's 10. As long as it's with the right people, that's a different type of meeting. So what I would love to do is take a moment for us to go around and introduce ourselves and share your name, your organization that you represent, what services y'all provide for those that may not know you in the room. And what is the question for today is, what is your go-to productivity hack for busy days? So when you have busy days, because I'm a firm believer that busy people understand busy people. So we all are busy in some way, shape, fashion, or form. But What is your go-to productivity hack for your busy days? Get you something this morning. My First United Methodist team family. But your name, your organization, what services do you provide, and what is your go-to productivity hack for your busy days? So I'll start. My name is Nina. And what I would say, or representing Community Renewal International as the community liaison, but I'm also a coach. I'm also a mentor with the nonprofit organization. And man, I guess if I had to say, just what the hats that we wear, I'm a certified travel agent, and I have an online store too. That's just things that I don't really talk about when I'm in these rooms, which is crazy, because these rooms are to promote your stuff. And I'll be in here promoting everybody else's stuff, and you never get to hear about my stuff. But that is what I do. And what is my go-to hack for busy days? I would say it's twofold. One would be to allow me to work outside. I love the freedom of nature and being able to work outside or even at a window. And the other part to that is to do the harder things first. That's my hack for my busy days, is to do the things that I don't want to do first. And we'll go this way, Mr. Robert. Let Julie and them much.
I'm Robert Odom. I work for Community Renewal International, and I do better when I'm busy than I do when it's slow. I guess when I'm busy, I just immerse myself in the community renewal.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Robert.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Nord, and I assist in any way possible to help veterans with disabilities find employment and or training, anything like that, help them become productive. And my go-to hack for an extremely busy day, which I've had a couple in a row today, is basically time management and organization.
Yeah.
I love calendars, and if I can't get it done today, it gets moved on the calendar to tomorrow. And I love color coding things.
Come on.
So I go look at dates that are in the red, they get done first.
Come on, that's good. That's good, Mr. Jeffrey.
Awesome. My name is Russell Miner. I am with Community Renewal as well. I'm the director of Haven House. That's We Care Neighbors. Our goal is to put a great neighbor who knows the names and the needs of their neighbors on every block in Shreveport, at least 5,000 blocks. we have about 1,900 volunteers. I also have a nonprofit, Sharing Love Together, and that's focused on children and youth, back to school initiatives, clothing, coats, and homeless and senior citizens. It's kind of our focus. I'm an outreach pastor at Mount Canaan, a mega black church about 3 blocks from here. My go-to is, I guess I have several, but my first one is when you're having a real busy day, is to just break away from the office a minute and usually hang out with maybe a best friend or two. Not that I eat a lot, but just enjoy. On my way to lunch, some nice jazz gospel music.
Look out now.
Just sit down with some positive people. And the other thing is, when I think I'm having a bad day, I just really go out and help somebody.
How about that?
Working with families, working with children, working with the population of Shreveport. It's always somebody. I believe in a hand up, not a handout. So I'm always willing to go out and give somebody a hand up. That was long.
No, that's great. That's great.
Gotcha.
I'm Brother John. I'm the father of that beautiful young lady.
Mm.
And my ambition in life, truly, I campaign to be the father of the year.
Yeah,
I
come
think
on.
we don't have too many of those.
You are.
That's right.
But anyway, I'm associated with a rural church establishment, and I consider myself a love light. So y'all pray for me, that put prayers in sincerely.
Amen.
We have a lot of work to do in this society.
Yeah, we do.
And prayer won't get it done by itself.
Come on.
I know a lot of people trying to go to heaven, but it's a lot of work to be done
Mm.
here. Brother John in the house, good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah.
My name's Wade Shimwell, and I'm with Community Renewal International, and I work with Haven House. I'm a We Care neighbor,
Yes, sir.
and at this stage of my life, I don't do the things that I used to do.
Look out,
I'd
Wade.
like to do, but I'll tell you what I still like to do is try to make a friend or a neighbor every day.
Amen.
Make each day count.
Absolutely,
Amen.
Wade. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good morning. My name is Aaliyah Hollins.
Hey.
I work at Christus Health here in Shreveport, Bossier. I work with community outreach there. I think what I do on a day to be productive is probably to-do lists. Like you said, I put things in categories and check them off. It's also good for me mentally because it just makes me feel accomplished. So
Yes, yes.
that's my hat.
I'm all right.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you guys too.
Yeah, great.
Good morning, I'm Teresa Harris. I work in Metropolitan Circles, an outpatient clinic that provide mental health services to children, adolescents, and adults.
Yeah.
And also, we have a waiver program where we have DSW workers that go out. And my day, as Jeff said, and as I forget your name, Aaliyah, I prioritize and I set things on calendar and color code it to
Absolutely.
make sure I stay on track.
How about that?
I just could not live without my planner. I'm telling y'all, that planner is so important to me.
Good morning, my name is Clark.
Hey.
I work for Miss Nina through the Circle of Caring and Community Renewal International.
Awesome.
I'm a Bossier Parish Community College student. I'm a freshman at Bossier Parish Community College, and I'm studying aerospace.
Man, yes.
I'm a United States Airman, and I'm really just trying to help in the city that I haven't grown up here, but my family's from here.
Okay.
So the more I learn about Shreveport and what it's really about, like the roots of Shreveport, I just had the pleasure of going to Mardi Gras. And it was really nice. I went to the cruise island, the cruise Centaur.
That's good.
Yeah. They broke you in.
Yeah, they did. It was really fun.
They tore the house down this year.
As far as productivity goes, we have this app for college students. It's called Canvas. It's a website too. I'm taking 18 hours at Bossier Parish, so I just sit down and just go down the list and do all my tests and homework. I mean, I guess there's probably a better way to do it, but just try to knock it out. The faster you get done, the faster you go do something else.
Awesome.
The mind of the young folk, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great mind.
My name is Julia Pierce. Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
So I'm also a student at Bossier Parish Community College. I'm studying business administration.
Awesome.
And my hack for productivity is definitely an app called Notion. It's a planner app. It's like, it has a bunch of to-do lists. It has like a bunch of code and stuff that you can put in for
Awesome.
different tasks that you have to do or get done, like meal planners, weight trackers, stuff like that. So that's what I use.
I need to get Notion.
Yeah, it's really good.
Dang, I need to get Notion.
You need to give me that one.
I know, right? Isn't that good?
I like it. I need it.
I love that. And Ms. Rebecca, you want to share?
Good morning.
Hey.
I'm Rebecca Taylor. I am the administrative receptionist at Community Renewal.
All right.
And I'm one who stays busy. I like to stay busy because staying busy keeps me staying young.
Oh,
I will be older next month, like 67.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shoot.
Except the presidents.
Right.
Just a kid.
They say you just a kid, Miss Rebecca.
Uh-oh.
But hopefully oftentimes when we think about like what our icebreaker questions are, they can be fun, they can be quirky, but I wanted to bring that question to the table this year, or today, this month, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I am in reality at the fact that we're already in the 3rd month of the year. Almost halfway through the first quarter completely. And you've heard me say it, I kind of spend my time saying this going throughout the year, but the holidays will be here again tomorrow. And so I wanted us to hear from each other that if your life has been anything like mine, the to-do list never stops. It just goes from one day and hopefully it's done today on to the next, and prayerfully you get the next day to do it, right? But what I wanted us to hear from each other on what were some of our tools and resources that we can glean from that may help us get through some of the busier days that's coming, right? So that was my thought behind that question. So what I want to do now is just really take a moment to hear from, and I was talking to Mr. David about this because we oftentimes go through our time together as we're in the still part, even though we're already almost through the first semester, it's still our first quarter of the year. So we're getting our bearings, I feel like you don't even get out of holiday mode until February. You're still literally in holiday mode until all the way through January. To me, you're getting back in from the holidays. It takes you at least until January 20th to get back to work, And so I did want us to, I say that to say, as we're finishing out this first quarter, we're building up our momentum for this year. And I've received a lot of phone calls over the last week, emails particularly, on people that just hadn't been able to be at the tables, due to work, responsibilities. And it definitely has put me in a mind frame of where are we within the circle of caring and where do we go from here, right? Now, one of the things that I wanted to do, and it was something that me and Mr. David talked about, was as we go through our time, though, we get to the end and we want to hear announcements, and we're rushing through those announcements. We're rushing through what you got coming up, how can we help, how can we serve? And really, that's the main part of why we even came to these tables, is to hear what is it that you're doing, what is it that you need help to do what you're doing, and then what is it that we can do together type of thing, right? So instead of us putting that at the end of our time together today, I wanted to make that first to talk about what is it as you're completing quarter one that you still have left on the books, or what is it that's coming up for quarter two that you have on the books, and what it is that you have a need of in those activities or events. And so I know from Community Renewal's perspective, we have our upcoming CoC tournament. I don't know if any of you all have ever played. It is the funnest game ever. I just love CoC. And I want, I'm going to encourage you all to rather play a part. Hey there, sister, come on in. I want you to rather think through what do you have coming up. Think through your organization, business, or church. It's only a team of 2, so it's not like it's 5 of us that can play, which I wish we could, but it's only a team of 2 individuals that can play. And so if that's something that you're interested in, we would love to have you. It is so fun. I think it's still all white this year, Dr. Russell, if I'm not mistaken. The attire is all white. We hold it at the LSUS fields, and even if you don't play, it is such we have a spectator ticket that you can come and eat and fellowship. It is just the bomb. I absolutely love CoC. So I know that's coming up for us at the top of the first quarter. Also, as we're concluding the first quarter, coming up at the top of the second quarter, but as we conclude in the first quarter, I know if you have not taken the Community Renewal International Tour, the tours are available the third Thursday of the month at 12 noon at the office. Of course, lunch is provided in that. So If you have not taken the tour yet, it is very beneficial. Hey there, Ms. Burgess. If you have not taken the tour yet, that's coming up at the end of this month. You can reach out to the office for that. I really encourage you to do so. And then the other thing I know I have coming up is I'm doing another master class. That's going to be on March 31st. If it's the 30th or the 31st, I'll send that out. And my coaching is around relationships, whether it's the slogan is from the boardroom to the bedroom. So I often say that because I don't care what relationships you have, whether it's with your coworkers, with your friends, with your kids, with your spouse, all relationships require work. And so I'm excited about this next master class, which is pushing me out of my comfort zone. And this particular master class is called The Power of Two, but it's a special edition for wives only. And so I know, right, Mr. Pierce, pray for me, okay?
Yes.
And so I'm excited about that master class. It's definitely something that God has just dropped in my spirit, and I'm excited about it. So you'll see information coming out on that within this next, probably by the weekend, I think it's scheduled to go out. So just know that that is one thing that is coming up on my end. So we'll open up the floor for what do you have coming up in your world for this the first quarter to be concluding or even kicking off the second quarter. What do you have coming up in your wheel of influence? And everybody, of course, don't talk at the same time.
Pastor.
Bless the Lord, yeah. Well, you know what, myself, I'm looking for help. I'm looking at the housing situation. I don't know if that particular, I'm thinking that's this young man over there, I didn't get his name. You with Job Corps, right?
No, sir.
No,
I work with community renewal.
Okay. I had to leave it. I passed. The space was open. See, everybody else was sitting around. Before Miss Nina left, she said, "Don't all talk at once."
That's why we talking.
And I open my mouth, and out come the voice, and it's not even until the floor is open. Come on, wait. Yes, sir. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you, my baby. Thank you. Yes. Okay, wait.
Well, I'm in Wade Shimwell, and the one thing I do know that comes by every quarter, comes by every half, in fact, it comes by every month, is our citywide prayer breakfast.
Yes.
And, it's always on the fourth Thursday of the month at 9 o'clock. We have a great chef. I taught him well.
Yes.
He does good. No, it's a great breakfast and a lot of fun and fellowship. And if you've been there, you know that. If you hadn't been there, you should come.
Mm-hmm.
It's really something that really sets off your week fine. So, like I said, it's every fourth Thursday and it's at 9 o'clock.
Nicely done, Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And even as we are welcoming our new guests in the room, and I know y'all that are up at the top, I'm gonna repeat this so that as y'all are coming down, y'all can hear what we're announcing, okay? So introduce yourself, the organization that you represent, and what y'all do. And then Shantae, there's one over here, and there's two over here. So introduce yourself, your organization, what y'all do, and what is your hack, your go-to hack of productivity on busy days? So we heard about color coding and calendars. We've heard about an app called Notion, and so we were just talking about, as we conclude this first quarter, busy people understand busy people, but when these busy days occur, what is our go-to? So like mine was put me outside so I can work in a fresh environment, or set me by a window type of thing, So introduce yourself, like I said, your name, the organization you represent, what y'all do, and then what is your go-to productivity hack for busy days? So either of y'all can start.
Okay. Well, I'm Carla Burgos. I'm the Director of Special Initiatives at the Community Foundation. I oversee Step Forward, which is an initiative at the Community Foundation. We have 3 networks. One is Building Resilience, where we're working to build a more resilient Northwest Louisiana. The other is our Building Future, where we're working with students from grade 5 through 12, where they earn a living and sustainable wage by age 12. And then we have our Building Foundation, which is our early childhood education initiative, where we're hoping that children, where we're providing scholarships for students to go to quality child care centers from birth to age 3. That's one of the initiatives that we have. But that one is from 0 to grade 5, and from birth to grade 5. And we're just wanting the community to be aware of what is brain development, how does it impact learning, and so on and so forth. We do have other initiatives at the Community Foundation. The overall initiative of the Community Foundation here is just to create a better Northwest Louisiana through philanthropic operations. So in the philanthropy area, we provide financial support and the means of grants to most of the nonprofits here in this area.
Wow, yes, ma'am.
Share, Ms. Carla. Okay.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Tyria Lanier. I'm here representing with the SPOT International, which stands for Successfully Preparing Our Teams. I heard you say,
What is your go-to productivity on busy days?
okay, my go-to productivity on busy days would probably be to probably wake up a little early in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And get some quiet time.
Right.
Kind of reflect on what I want to do for the day.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll consist of like whether I'm drinking my coffee, my tea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something that's just me, and kind of like enjoy the little silence that I have. I have 2 kids right now.
Bless you.
And I have 2, so it's like, and once they get up, things get to moving for real. So busy,
Yeah.
right? So I really like try to grasp the time that I do have alongside. I write down my goals. If I do have like certain goals to accomplish for the day, and then also I like to like get movement in. I'm really into like once you get the body flowing, maybe you know your mind can kind of be balanced and you know start the day effortlessly. You know, so whether that consists of like stretching or yoga or any of that, going for a walk in the morning. I love walking, so stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you,
awesome.
Thank you.
Lena, I forgot to add one.
Please. I'm listening too,
So-
Carla, because y'all, she do a lot in the city.
I'm a very independent person, so previously it was difficult for me to ask for help. So about 4 years ago, I said I wanted to work on self-improvement, and one of those things is that I ask for help. So I have people that I call on when I need help and support, because I do a lot of things at the Community Foundation, but I'm the type of person, I do it until it's done. So if that means I'm gonna work from 9 to 9, I'm gonna do that, because I'm very passionate about the mission of building a resilient place. So, prayer, I start my day off with prayer, I think, and I pray throughout
That's
the day.
right.
So I think that's the
right.
biggest thing for me is being in communication with something that's higher for me.
Come on, Ms.
To make
Carla.
sure, and then I just started to say, oh, I need to do that. And the next thing you know, somebody called, what you doing? Okay, it's like, okay, God, thank you.
Yeah. I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good.
Love that. Love that.
Am I the only one who
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shantae Dukes, and I'm the Trauma-Informed Specialist for Caddo Parish Schools. So our mission is to ensure that everyone on every campus is feeling welcome and wanted, and just improving the climate and culture of the school campuses. In that means informing staff, admin, community members of the impacts of trauma. And so we go out and we do trainings on how trauma is impacting our kiddos and how that very often is showing up in different behaviors in the classroom. And so we offer interventions and strategies to our teachers and our admin on dealing with trauma. Yeah, so that is what I do. Now, I think I'm still working on what I need to do to get myself together, but I am a person that when I am stressed or challenged by things, I pull away. And so I need that quiet time. I need to be alone. I need to figure things out. I need to sort them out and organize. I have so many little sticky notes. I need to get that together, but I'm always writing things down and I'm saying, okay, I gotta put this here. And yeah, so I have like all these sticky notes, but that's the way that I work. That's the way that I kind of focus and get a sense of mindfulness in, pulling away. And just having some time where I can digress, I can see things clearly, and I don't have all of the outside noise coming in. So that's the way that I pretty much deal with that.
That'll work.
I love that. Tyrese and TT's baby.
Yeah.
That's your dream. But Tyrese, will you introduce yourself?
I'm Tyrese Lanier. I am Tyrese's husband, and I'm just here to help out in the way I can.
Thank you, Tyrese. And thank y'all for sharing. Hopefully, I know y'all didn't get a chance to hear everybody's, but hopefully you've heard something that somebody said and was like, yeah, that is good. Oh, I do that too. And I think, again, the mission behind that question was simply because we're already almost through the first quarter of the year. This time is going by. I'm telling y'all, I don't like, you think about like, was it always like this? And no, time never went by this fast. It just did not. Like, I don't care if you were younger, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just did not go by this fast. It's definitely the way that we are in today's society and just the way that the world is going. But the important part is that because busy people understand busy people, like, you got to be able to have these type of hacks that you can stop, whether that's yoga, whether that's prayer, because that's where it says you got to have a mindset of prayer 24/7. You can't get through this stuff without that. You know what I'm saying? I am a planner girl. You know, the students laugh at me because I need to have a physical. Somebody looked at my planner yesterday and said, why you don't have that digitally? I have to be able to see it, and I got to write it, you know. I'm building out color-coded. Like, I just had my master calendar done that has everything color-coded on it between now and through December. So I work on all type of systems because I'm a firm believer on making life smarter versus harder. How can I get through life easier and as simplistic as possible? And I don't care if that's using the tools that I got or borrowing yours, and theirs to make life easier. That's the whole purpose of each other.
That's right.
We don't have to go through life doing this on our own.
That's
we
right.
get to pull on each other's strengths and abilities. And Carla, the biggest gift that I ever learned was the gift of delegation. Oh my gosh, that was the hardest gift I've had to get, but it was my biggest blessing because you really realize that you can't do it on your own and you're not even called to do it on your own. And then the other side to both of those is that people like Miss Rebecca is so much better at administration than I am. That's not my gift. Right. I'm not one to sit at the computer and email. That's not me. Okay. I'm gonna be upfront talking. Let's talk about the big plan. But the details of all of that, I'm gonna miss it every time. Because I'm not the detail person. You know what I'm saying? I can see that the meeting is on March 12th, but I can be gone for a funeral and I'm gonna look up on Friday and realize that ain't nothing been sent out because I just see that the meeting is March 12th. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about the smaller things, but that is why, again, these rooms and this table was built, and this quote that I used for this meeting is much so worthy of re-quoting because of those that wasn't able to hear it. But what it said was, especially knowing, and if you've been in the Circle of Caring rooms, you know that we do round tables because we may have group interactions, but this seating is my favorite because we're all at one table and we get to see each other. But the quote that I had, especially even in knowing that this room was going to be a smaller train ride today, was meetings should have as few people as possible. But the right people at the table.
Yes.
Oh, I'm telling you, I can munch on that all. As the church folks say, that'll preach, won't it? You know it will. The fewest people as possible, but as long as it's the right people at the table, right? So what I will jump back into what I shared was at the end, we always talk about upcoming events. What do you have coming up, and what can we help, and where can we assist? And we're rushing through that. But we've made a decision this year that because that is one of the most important reasons why these tables were ever even built, we want to make sure that we're bringing that every time to the forefront of our meetings. What is it that you have coming up? So I talked about CoC coming up for community renewal. If you haven't done the monthly tour. And I talked about my upcoming masterclass at the end of this month that is for wives only. It's called The Power of Two Special Edition for wives only. And I'll say this, that stemmed from, I just recently did, because I've done youth and young adults forever, but my passion and really a part of my major ministry is marriages. Like, believe it or not, yeah, I'm single. Today. Let's put that on. Wade, send your cousin my way, okay? Okay, Wade. I'm just saying, okay? Jeff, I'm just saying, okay? But it stemmed because although I am divorced, it's been a passion of mine, and it's been something that I've been able to contribute to friends and to my friends and family throughout my life, you know. But I did a Power of Two for Valentine's. And I'm so grateful for Clark and Jalea that was a part of that. But it was and Tyria. It was couples at this, you know, it was called The Power of Two. But y'all, only thing I wish was that I was a couple at the table.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Because it was absolutely unbelievable. But what the heart that stemmed from it is because I don't care if you're a business, I don't care if you're a church, and I don't care if you're an organization. As the kids say, in one of them, in regular vocabulary, any one of them. Any one of those areas, in those rooms, you see a coworker show up and some ain't right today, the possibility is that it started at home. Yes or yes?
Yes. Absolutely.
So it could be with the kids, it could be with the spouse, and oftentimes if the spouse situation ain't together, that's gonna overflow in everything else. And so I'm excited about this masterclass, and I just wanted to give y'all the background of that as y'all are referring people or desire to be in it yourself. I want you to look at it and be like, oh, well, Nina can't tell me nothing. You know, we all can teach each other something, right?
That is right.
If I don't get to share with y'all if I don't get to share nothing but what I've learned through my divorce, you know, that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, because it's literally like a death, you know? So all of that, right? But what do you have coming up? What is it that you're completing your first quarter? What is it on your schedule that you got coming up, and what is it that we can do for you to assist in what you got coming up? So that's where we left off at before we started with y'all. So Wade talked about the breakfast in Cedar Grove. I've been to the monthly breakfast a couple of times, and I absolutely love it. Dr. Miner hosted with Trey over in Cedar Grove, and Wade has been a part of it for so long. How many years have y'all been doing that breakfast, Doc?
20-something years.
Miss Margaret Miles, an older lady in Cedar Grove, was doing it. I guess she was doing it about 30 years, and we started helping her and cooking with her. She did it in her home.
Wow.
And she passed, Wayne, how many years?
Oh, God, I think probably 6, 7, 8 years ago.
About 8 years ago, she passed. So
Time
Mike Leonard is our boss here in Louisiana. So I said, Mike, I'm not insubordinate, but I'm just going to ask for your forgiveness. Prayer is, thank you. Prayer is what we need. And Miss Margaret Miles was an older black lady that helped fund the civil rights movement in Shreveport. If you didn't have your own business, if you weren't independent, you couldn't speak out or speak up without being fired and thrown out. So Miss Margaret Miles was one of those people that was a beautician, and she funded. So that's why we kept the spirit of that.
Wow.
So I told Mike, I says, I have moved the prayer breakfast since Miss Margaret is gone and her kids don't want to continue it. We want to continue it at the Friendship House.
I love it. I love it.
I think it's
love
just
it.
worthy.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
her administrative assistant was a doctor, a pediatrician. She had everybody.
Wow.
You know, no one along color lines. She had the homeless there. She had the wealthy from Southern Trace there.
Yeah.
She had the black, the whites, Hispanic, and that's the kind of kingdom God wants us to build.
Absolutely
So if we can
right.
keep that.
Absolutely.
And she cooked for Wade every day.
Wow.
And they didn't go to bed without calling each other.
Wow. That's community.
And when she got sick, we were by her side. We said, you will never be alone. And she had, 8, 9 children. But I mean, they weren't really involved a little bit in the prayer break. They were wondering, who is that guy? I'd be there at 5 o'clock, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But she was that kind of woman.
She's also an avid gardener.
Avid.
Started the Garden of Love in Cedar Grove.
Yeah, she
Wow.
built the garden. Wade and her, they built that garden.
Wow.
We still have it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. I'm sorry.
No, I love that, and that's, you know, but those type of things are imperative.
Yes, but
When
their
you-
relationship, I want to say this, is a testimony to the, can I not say foolishness?
Right, that part.
To the foolishness
Right.
that we see flowing from America
That's right.
and from Shreveport.
Absolutely.
Their testimony, their lifestyle was a spiritual message to us. That all this stuff we do,
Right.
this foolishness and how
Right.
we look at a person's exterior and the color, it was none of that with them.
It didn't make none.
They didn't manufacture it. They didn't try for a photo op.
All right.
It was none of that. It wasn't a picture taken. You know, I'm just friends
None
with.
of that.
No, none of that. It just was an organic overflow. And I'm going to say to the young people, you seek that. Everybody's looking for authenticity and genuineness.
That's right.
That's right.
And they had that in their relationship. So that's what we wanted in the prayer breakfast. And I said, as long as I'm a part of community renewal, we have to have that.
I love that.
We have to have that. And we have that now
All right.
in a young man who's, I don't know if he's a part of this or not, that has the mobility company. What's the young fellow's name? It'll come in a minute. But we have accidentally met a white guy and a black guy was together, came on a tour. And now they're a big part of what we do. And they was the same spirit as them.
Absolutely.
They grew up together, played sports together. Their families are together. They're married with children. They vacation together.
Yeah.
But I said, you can't pay for that.
Yeah.
And even in our argument, and that'll quieten all of our mouths when people just come and says, we're friends. And nobody ever starts talking about, well, what color you are.
No.
What school your kids go to?
Yeah.
You know?
Or who did you vote for?
Yeah, who you vote
Check
for?
that out.
What party you in?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
church you go to? No.
Yeah.
That's
How
right.
big is the fence around your house? None of that.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
I
But that's
love
why
that
we
too.
come
That's good.
together
Yeah.
to create a world that's a
Absolutely.
home where every person and every child can be safe and loved and reach their highest potential. In order to do that, you have, but my parents did it. So
That's
I grew up in an environment where people at my table was not just our color.
Correct.
And that helps me to do it. And I'm not short about speaking out to that
Okay.
and calling people out to that, no matter what group you're in.
Come on in,
And I'll
Doc.
hug you.
Come on, I want you when you come down. Yeah. I love that though, Doc. And that, like I said, that
That's
is
behind
that,
the
that
program.
breakfast is imperative for not just Cedar Grove, but the community as a whole. And people from other communities is a part of this monthly prayer breakfast. So what else do y'all have coming up on your calendars? Finishing out this quarter or kicking off the upcoming quarter for quarter 2?
Well, I have tons of things.
I know, come on, let's talk about it. Cause, and like I say, we need to know it and then we need to know how can we help.
I have tons of things going on, but, for March, next Friday is Women's Day at LSUS, so So
Awesome.
I'm one of the presenters there. The theme for that is resilience, hope, and faith.
Ooh, I
No,
love
health, resilience, and hope. So let me get those right. So that's one of the events. If you're a woman and you're interested in going to that, you can just log on to LSUS and the tickets are there. So that's going on Friday. Let me pull out my phone. We have a lot of other things that we're working on. Our teen advisory committee just finished their kickoff, but we are planning to do some training with Yolanda Duckworth, Fiamma.
Fiamma. Bradley.
Bradley.
Yes.
And so we'll be doing some opioid awareness and vaping to educate teens on that. So I'll be reaching out to youth serving organizations to ensure that we have enough students, and if more students want to come, we'll definitely invite them. That'll be on the 29th of March, I believe.
Okay, good.
That's one of the things that we're doing. And we want to encourage young people to be aware of, like she'll do the Narcan training, to be aware of how opioid abuse is impacting our community. And vaping also, I don't think youth are aware that what vaping does to the respiratory system. And we don't know those long-term consequences, but there are people who start off vaping and now they have full-blown asthma, they can't walk, they have a lot of issues. So vaping is just not safe.
That's right.
People think it's an alternative to smoking cigarettes, but you might as well just smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, because some that's right, Carla.
Because the vaping is just like very immediate. So we have that going on.
Where is that event at?
We have not decided what location it's gonna be at right now. We're working on it. And with our teen advisory committee, I let the youth plan everything from the inception of whatever we're gonna do. So they're still working on identifying a venue. It may be at LSUS Ochsner or Margaret Place, because we utilize that space a lot, or we may do it at the Community Foundation downtown, because it is on a Saturday. So I want to put those two things together so that, and we have a professional development piece for the teens. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing that. Because we want, a lot of our teens are going to go off to college. So if they have these valuable tools about how opioids impact them and vaping, they're more likely to not do those things.
That's right.
So we have that going on. Let me see what we have. We have 3 networks, so it's always something that's going on with that. Now, on the 20th, there's a lot of activity going on the 20th of March. There is, the Louisiana Policy Institute will be at LSUS. They have an open forum. They're inviting the community to come out, and we partner with them on a statewide level, and their things are about early childhood education. So Libby Saunier advocates at the Capitol about securing funds for children to go to quality early childhood education programs. So that's going on the 20th at 6 p.m. at LSUS. Another one of our network partners, which is Caddo Parish Public Schools, has their cookout on the same day. I think it starts at 5, and it's gonna be at the Caddo Virtual Academy. And so they're asking parents to come out. This is about parent resources and family engaging. So they want to equip parents with the tools to prepare their students for testing. So that's at Caddo Virtual Academy. I think it starts at 5 o'clock. That's going on the 20th. Oh, our other partners on the 20th at 9, I think they start at 10 o'clock. The McKinney Veneto will be meeting on Murphy Street, and they start at 10. And these are all community stakeholder partners. If you want to come out, they're looking at how can we support families who are homeless involved in Caddo Parish Public Schools. So that's on the 20th as well. That's a pretty busy day. And then Whole Health Louisiana, if you're part of Whole Health Louisiana, they're having their first public health data in institute, and that's gonna be online virtually. And so, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Whole Health Louisiana plan, but that should be driving our work in the community. And with this whole health plan, we want to bring awareness to child abuse and neglect and reduce those numbers. We want to talk about and put trauma-informed practices in place. So the model that Shantae is working with Caddo Public Schools is a part of that. The work that I do in building resilience is a part of that as well. And so they'll be meeting virtually. Now it's through the Department of Health, But Lafayette, the University of Lafayette, the PCARD Center actually has that, no, not the PCARD, the Blanco Center, I'm sorry. They actually have the contract to implement Whole Health Louisiana. So all those things are taking place in Lafayette, but you can join them virtually. And they travel the state and go through different regions to put on different events. Last year, when they put on the event for our region, Shantae and I were the ones who facilitated those trainings. So that's on the 20th. I don't have anything for Friday, but
I love it.
I'm just trying to make sure that I have, because a lot of times people don't really know what's going on. And
That's so true.
I have a seminar on Friday, so everybody can come over and see me.
Okay.
A good neighbor seminar. Yes.
Monday's St. Patrick's Day.
They have family engagement night over at AmeriHealth on the 25th.
Yes.
With
Oh,
Dustin
yes.
Dawson.
Yes, that's gonna
And
be
so
good.
he's engaging community members. He's asked that I come out and present to that as well, but they'll have other resources there at that event. And let me see what time it starts. I think it's it starts at 5 p.m.
I was thinking 5.
Yeah, it starts at 5.
That's on the 25th, Carla.
That's on the 25th.
And of
And-
course, this will go out, all
All
these
these-
dates will go out to, via the, newsletter that'll go out after this meeting.
Yeah, so those are the things for March. I could go on a lot. April the 10th, there is a training, well, the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund provides support throughout the state for people to reduce abuse and neglect. They do prevention, they do all sorts of things as it relates to providing support and funding for people to be able to carry out those duties. So they will have, the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund Conference is April the 10th in Lafayette. So that's another statewide event that's going on. And Dr. Antoine Butler, who's from Shreveport, will be one of the presenters at this event on April the 10th.
Awesome.
So I'll stop at April the 10th.
That's good. I mean, and again, you heard the quote, meetings are for very few people, as long as you got the right people at the table.
That's right.
And that is good information, Carla, because
Excellent.
everything that we do is encompassing families.
Yes.
A business cannot survive without the money of a family. A church cannot survive without people that come in that make up families. And organizations, all we service is families. So all of these things are connected in one way, shape, fashion, or form. So thank you for that, Carla. Who else has some things coming up, finishing out this year? Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, for us, right now happens to be job fair season.
Yes.
So if you go onto laworks.net, you can get a full list of what job fairs are coming up when. And we've had some pop-up, what I call pop-up job fairs, because some businesses has closed. I think we've heard about International Paper down in Canty. We had a job fair just for those individuals, for them to assist them. And we just finished Bosier's job fair on the 5th. You know, and the thing is one thing for us right now, I notice my casework is going down. You know, there's not many people registering, which means, in my mind, people are finding employment. The jobs are there, they're finding them. Less people needing my help, but we're here if they need it. And everything comes in waves. It may be low today, but trust me, something's gonna happen, something's gonna shake loose. I'm gonna have them months where I got 12 and 13 and 20 people I'm doing per month. You know, I've had it before. It's gonna happen again. It's just not there today. You know, and that's good in the respect that people are working. And they found employment. In fact, 3 of my clients that I called Monday, 3 of them has found employment in the last month.
Hey, that's wonderful.
And, you know, some awesome things are going on there with them.
So
Some good
outside of
jobs.
job fairs, what else would you say that y'all have that's pressing for the veteran side, outside of job fairs right now?
Oh, well, services.
Okay.
Services needed, because with unemployment, it isn't just about a job and getting money. Because if you don't have money coming in, a lot of things are gonna fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, your whole world falls apart without having a steady income.
Correct.
So services, you know, that's one of the reasons I come here, to get to know people,
Absolutely.
figure out the services that's available. And I got a young lady I got a call today. Does anyone know the requirements? She lost her ID card. Know the requirements, how to get into the DMV to get an ID card, because she's got a Social Security card, but she doesn't have her birth certificate or anything else. So if the state of Louisiana already has you in their system, is it possible to just show up and get a
I would think so.
and get a
If she has that.
and get a
Just
her ID.
get a
It's a renewal,
renewal
or loss, or replacement.
replacement. That's the word I'm
It's a
looking for.
replacement.
To just
So
get a
since it already
replacement, because they got her information. They got a picture of her.
Yeah.
They can look right at her and tell.
And she has her birth certificate as well as
No.
her social. Oh, she does not.
She
Okay.
just has her Social Security card.
Okay.
It
They
should
should
be
be
online
able-
what
yeah.
they do,
Yeah,
but
they may
Right.
require her to
Just
have
like you
two.
don't have
Yeah,
LA
normally
Wallets,
it's
you need
two.
to put it on your phone.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
that's part of the problem too. She lost her phone.
Oh,
It's been 2 months since I've been able to talk to this young lady, because she lost her phone and never called me to give me the new phone number.
Yeah.
Because she lost my number
In her
along
phone.
with the
Right.
phone.
Right.
Remember I said something about your whole world falls apart
Oh,
when,
yes.
Yeah.
when you're unemployed? Yeah, this is part of it. I finally got in touch with her daughter, which got me in touch with her.
Yeah. It's a whole journey when you think about the process of it all. That's why these rooms are so
That's
important. Because it's one thing to be able to say, hey, yeah, go online, but if we had a DMV person at the table,
Ooh, wouldn't that be
you can
something?
just refer somebody, right? It's that's why these tables are so important, because it's another story when I say I need a job, can you send me to the next job fair, versus when you get over there, see if Mr. Jeffrey is available, So it's the networking and the resources of individuals at these tables and
That's
building
right.
the relationships overall that, again, makes life a little bit, you working smarter versus harder.
there you go. That's it.
So is there any other upcoming activities or events on your calendar coming up that that you want to share? What do you have coming up, and what can we assist with? Carla talked about the upcoming women's event. I'm definitely looking into that. I know we talked about the April 10th event. But the needs of that she needs teenagers in these meetings. We all know teenagers,
right.
whether that's kids of our own or they cousins, our little nieces and nephews. So she needs, students at these, the youth advisory Tyria. That's what made me think about SPOT. Definitely, we've been talking about that for years, getting some SPOT students a part of that teen advisory. I remember sitting at those tables. I'm telling you, Mr. Pierce, I didn't know why I was at that table as a kid.
All right.
It taught me to do what I do today.
I heard that.
But I sat at those tables as a kid. I mean, I remember that. I felt so important. Didn't know what I was at these tables talking about. But I had no idea that 30-some years later, I've worked with youth for now 30 years, and it taught me to do exactly what I get to do today. So those tables are imperative for our youth. So what else do we have? What's happening at Metropolitan? What y'all got coming up?
Call for accreditation.
Oh, y'all married into the end of the year. That card, And let me tell y'all, I almost stepped into that training.
Oh, wow.
And the lady that was interested in bringing me in, boy, I might have to revisit that, because that carb trainer back. I said, you go where and for how many days and do what? So yeah, carb training. I'll be praying for y'all.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Yes, it is.
What do y'all have coming over at Christus? Which y'all, I gotta just, I'm biased with Christus being at the table, because this is what funded the Circle of Caring initially. And so what do y'all have coming up over at Christus in your area, and what y'all got going, and what can we assist at?
You guys are actually already assisting. I've been talking to Deidre. So we're doing a community health needs assessment right now. And we've been doing focus groups.
That's good.
Centered around that.
So basically, we do a community health needs assessment to figure out what areas Shreveport-Bossier needs the most attention to and what we can help. So we do an initial focus group, and then from there, it gives us like our leading indicators of what needs to be addressed in the community, and then from there we do smaller focus groups with people that are not in leadership, that are community members. Talk to them about what they're experiencing. That's what we're in the thick of right now. We do it with all age groups, so seniors, adults, young adults, teens. And then from there, we go from there and come up with a plan, basically, of like, okay, narrowing down our indicators and what can we help with financially and physically.
Absolutely.
And so Deidre has been helping us get that together. As far as like with the teams, we plan to go to community renewal, one of the houses, and do a focus group there.
Is that something that the youth advisory can be a part of?
My brain was moving when you were talking earlier, because actually vaping is one of our targets from the previous 3 years.
Are you with Bonnie Hughes over at Shumpert? Are you with Oshner or Shumpert?
Shumpert. Yeah, well, Krista's with Shumpert, yeah. But vaping was one of them, but we had a hard time with that, so that event triggered me to, I'll speak with you. But yeah, that's kind of what we're in the midst of right now. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's a lot going on. Yeah.
The ultimate goal. So the ultimate goal from the we call it CHNA, but it's basically just to narrow down 5 things. Five, it's usually 5. I'm saying 5, but it could be 6, it could be 4, it could be 3. It just depends on how the focus groups go and the data that we collect from a company called Metopio that we work with, which pretty much like runs us all the data from Shreveport-Bossier, so about heart health, heart disease, diabetes, vaping, poverty, housing costs of literally any type of statistic you can think of. We have that information, and that's what we lead our focus groups with. But the end goal is to narrow down to 3 to 5 different topics, whether it's heart disease, whether it's vaping, children's health, domestic violence, mental health. It can be anything. We narrow those down and we help
What do you
out.
do when you narrow it down?
We help.
What's the ultimate goal?
So once we narrow it down, we help out those problems. So we may work with community renewal. Children's health is one of them that we currently have right now.
They give money way to help
basically
solve these problems.
So we give money or time to help service what
absolutely.
needs in our community, basically. So community renewal is one of our partners that we work with. Children's Help, we work with CATA.
Y'all give them money?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of lots.
We work with CATA, then alcohol, domestic violence, opioid addictions, anything like that. We work with them as well. We're really big on food insecurity right now because we're noticing that that's like a really big problem, and it keeps resurfacing to us. I also attend Mount Canaan. I just kind of started going, and I realized that they have a food pantry they just started. Would love to talk to you about that because that's something that Christus could intentionally start to finance. We
that's
work with
good.
Shreveport Green. So just anything that's aligned with our CHNA, we are willing. I am not the CEO, but we are willing to finance and help. And if it's aligned with Krista's, which Krista's is just all about extending the healing ministry, if it aligns with us, then we'll definitely help out. And if we have the money, we'll definitely. So that's just to throw that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
For your resources, basically.
Yeah, thank you for
That's
sharing,
good.
absolutely, it's so
Something
great.
you could submit and post on Circular Carry webpage?
I mean, I could definitely give you my information.
That
They
would
can
be
always,
good.
because if you have like brochures or, just like a letter of intent.
Absolutely.
You email that to me, I email it off to
Absolutely.
our board and he approves it, and
Just
most
have
of
a
the
brief
time he does.
description
Oh, yes,
That's
yes,
right.
yes.
That'd be
Circular
good.
Carry.
Yeah.
Yep. That's- And I'm so grateful to have y'all at the table.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
it is
grateful to
awesome.
be here. I always learn something new, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so grateful. All right, y'all, we got a
Can I
couple
say
more
something?
minutes, yeah, come on,
Okay,
share.
like I said before, I do work as the trauma-informed specialist for Caddo Parish Schools, but I also have a leadership development and personal growth business where I help leaders and individuals, teams, organizations strengthen their leadership capacity, their workplace cultures, and even their communication skills. So I hold masterminds, and they're via Zoom, and it's a 5-week session. And so this particular, all a mastermind is taking one resource and studying around that. And so we've been studying the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And so that may be starting off with like growth gaps. A lot of people come in and they have growth gaps and they don't really realize that. So we start with the foundation of the personal growth, and then we move into how can that actually be implemented into your leadership journey. And so I'll be having another session coming up in about the next 4 weeks. And it has been phenomenal. It has helped people with their communication skills, with their team dynamics, and how they approach, some of the issues and challenges that are faced in the workplace. I'll just say that. And so that is something that I'm very passionate about. And when he started talking about jobs and how a lot of things fall apart, there is a rebuilding of self-esteem, of confidence, of clarity. And so those are things that we can help with true impact. So if anyone knows any groups, teams, individuals that are interested in personal growth or leadership development, whether they are a novice leader, whether they're just someone who is interested in leadership, or whether they are an experienced or seasoned leader, this is something that can really be beneficial. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I'm excited because I'll be a part of the next
What
one.
size of your groups? You can work with the group of.
As large as need be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need you to come. We bring we call them leaders, but
Yeah.
we're kind of changing that language to we care.
Yes.
Members, because we need caring neighbors on every block.
That is correct. Yes.
Being
Yes.
a minister, we used to going thousands of miles giving a sermon, but I said, no, we need you to go next door and be a sermon.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And it's based on what your needs are. So if we go into an organization, we can tailor it depending on your needs.
I would like you to come. I have a meeting at the end of the month,
Okay.
and some of my top leaders from across
Okay.
the sea. And instead of us just eating and aha, I want to do some personal growth.
That sounds fantastic.
Where we're going, and we need that.
I'd love
we
to.
have some gaps.
Okay,
I have
perfect.
them.
Now, in your
We all
care
do.
model, what are you all doing on school campuses?
We have an aggressive We Care School initiative.
Okay.
Been trying to work with the Caddo Parish Superintendent and Bossier Parish. So a lot of work we've done is kind of started with the principals,
Okay.
where we've started working. I think we started working with
Casey over.
University.
University was the pilot school.
I'm trying to think, University Terrace or a Title I school.
Okay.
Case Seminaro really just brought us in. And she
Okay.
just said, things are not working at my school. The recidivism, the dropout, the negative, the teacher leaving. So we came in and we started focusing on the teachers.
So where did you all identify this model at?
That's something that,
You guys came up with?
yeah, we came up with that.
Okay.
And we've been doing it about 4 years now, and we're,
Okay.
I think we're in about 10 schools.
Yes, roughly.
Dr.
Yes,
Yeah. About 10
yes.
to 12 schools in the
Fantastic.
parish.
Shantae sits on that.
Because it's, you know, you have leaders, and a lot of times people see models. It's just like when we go to a church. My boss used to say, hey, look, every pastor is concerned about noses and nickels. So if you come there, they're going to block you from their tires. You know, they're dedicated people going to see the vision when you come in offering something for the good of the congregation. But a lot of times people block you. So that's how schools are. The superintendent fought us. So, but now CoC Meeting has moved up into the leadership role. So we're having a little more freedom and working and walking and a lot of success. But that's one thing that we're doing with schools. But we also, out of the Friendship House,
Right.
we work with the feeder schools and we work with the teachers and we partner, you know, just with the children, with the trauma informed. We're trying to train our people to identify those initiatives. So we're the people at the Friendship House partnering with the teachers and the parents. We model after the family, not the school, but we work hard to make sure that child is successful as they leave school. We have an out-of-school program they do it at school, but they also come to the Friendship House. So as we partner and we bring resources into the Friendship House and fund that, you know, we feed them, we give them playtime, the things that children need to be children.
How about it? Yeah.
And we love them and we take them to the library, we take them on Christian trips. You know, we do things other people won't do with them. But we do that to build trust with parents and walk. So those are some of the initiatives that we do with schools. But Kim Mitchell is kind of leading that for the Center for Community Renewal. It was based out of Bipsy. I'm not sure that we're there, but we're not funded as we were at one time.
And you begin to see much more on We Care schools as well, because they really are taking that bull by the horn and running with it. So you'll definitely begin to see a lot more. And I believe, you know, I'm in school right now, getting my master's in social work. And like I said, I've worked with kids for 30 years.
Okay.
But to be in the schools today,
Yes.
and to see what these babies is experiencing, and I'm in the schools with a different hat on. See, I was in the schools with just a mentor hat on. Now I'm in the system with the social worker's hat on. And schools are much more open, let's just say, to what is going on. And I was in an ISS classroom as we bring this thing to a halt. I was in an ISS classroom and it was a kindergarten and there are several kindergartners. And that's what I said too. And I thought to myself, like, what is going on? And so one of the babies that they did an assessment on, I mean, y'all, this 5-year-old giving everybody the flux, okay? Baby done been kicked out of school.
Been there.
So when I finally did the assessment with the mom to figure out what was going on, I said, oh, this baby done saw her 11-month-old sibling die in the family car accident.
Oh my God.
So of course, this baby is struggling. So when you think about that, the schools are open now to the TBRI training. You know, you're going to see a lot more We Care schools because one mama showed up with the belt in hand in the office, and I thought, boy, you going to jail with that in your hand. But this is what they're experiencing, so you will see a lot more because the schools are open to understanding what it is that they're, you know.
People are crying for help.
Literally.
Yes, they are.
You know, and a lot of the teachers and the admin that are coming in, trauma is prevalent. And Carla and I work together and do a lot of trainings in the community. She's been gracious enough to bring me in with a lot of her parent ACEs talks. So it is, everyone is suffering.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so important to be trauma informed, because it's coming in from our communities. I mean, all we have to do is watch the news. You know, our teachers, our admin, our parents, our kiddos live in the very same communities where all this trauma is happening, and it's being brought to the school campus. It's not a shield where we're protected just because we're on a school campus. And so they are begging for strategies and tools and interventions. And that's what one of the things that Carla and I are talking about a lot of is how do, if there are wonderful things such as caring, such as intentional kindness and caring and connections, and we see the importance of those things, excuse me, and the benefit of them at the school level, pardon me, how then can we share and bridge that with the parents? Because if all these wonderful things are going on, I don't want to keep that a secret.
Right.
You know, I want to share some of the very same things that we're doing in the classes with the parents. And then the parents are the experts of, nobody knows your household better than you. There may be some things that are going on in the household that we could actually benefit from. You know, so if there's anything going on really well or in the home, that shouldn't be a secret either. We need your help. We really do have to bridge and become partners with our parents, you know. And a lot of the times, because I've been a teacher, you know, and prior to this position, I worked as a high school English teacher. And so I saw that, and I was going through things myself. So I'm saying none of us are exempt from trauma. And yeah, so then how then do we help teachers and admin regulate themselves so that they can be their best selves for the kids,
for all the trauma they've
That's right, because I can't be up here and dysregulated and then try to regulate a kid. So how then can we help them practice self-care so that they can be their best selves showing up in the class, and give them the tools and the strategies that they need in order to handle a lot of the trauma that's being brought into the actual classroom.
And I want to really bring you in to We Care, and that's really what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Is to be intentional.
I'm very familiar with We Care because I work with Casey.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And I love that, because it goes back to the importance of, we all know the importance of needing each other. We can't do this by ourselves.
No, we
I don't
cannot.
care if you're a business, a church, or organization, or simply an individual, a part of one or all three of those. We all have to have each other. And I'll leave us with this because we're over time a little bit. You'll begin to see, and we've started the process, but we really are gearing up more for our Community Renewal Circle of Caring app. The whole purpose of this app was to bring all of the individuals in the Circle of Caring to this one database, you know, and instead of us figuring out, okay, you need what, let me make a phone call. This app, you automatically can go in and see Carla is a part of Community Foundation, but not just a part of Community Foundation. Who else is a part of the Circle of Caring within the Community Foundation? But what services do they entail? And so now it becomes a overall database of resources for us to be able to go in and say, oh, I need somebody needs a job, or somebody needs adequate housing. And instead of just sending somebody somewhere, now you have a resource tool that you can go in and say, oh, that's Shantae Dukes at True Impact that can go in and provide some leadership training. So that is a very big focus of Community Renewal Circle of Caring, is bringing everybody together in this app, but even bigger than that, creating this community calendar. That is so big, because we have a million things. We heard 5 things already on one particular day that Carla has, you know, which is amazing to me, because you will look and be like, oh, nobody thought that the mayor was having his citywide birthday party on that day. Like, you know, you don't even realize that, because so many people are doing so many things. But we need to really figure out is how can we collectively do these things together in support of each other, and that everybody's on the same playing field, right? So you'll see a lot more of this app coming this year, y'all. And we're gonna dive a bit deeper in the 8 elements, and I'm gonna leave y'all with these 8 elements. I think it's so important to share these 8 elements. So give me 60 more seconds because we're never over, but I think it's worth sharing these 8 elements because as we go throughout the remaining of this year, I want you to think about these 8 elements because again, regardless of these 3 entities that you may be, how and what does a healthy community look like? And what that looks like is encompassed within these 8 elements. So it's a common culture. You got to have a common culture for us to even be able to do business together. Safe environment. Can I trust you to do business? Okay. And then while we're doing business together, the mission is to enhance our relationships, right? You don't have to like me at all, but you have to love what you do for us to work together. You don't have to like me, but you have to love what you do for us to be able to work together. Because when you love what you do, I don't care if I don't like you or not, Teresa. Who did you say, Miss? Where can I reach Miss Jackson at? Okay, meaningful work. Every bit of the work that we do is meaningful. And if you doing a bunch of work and it ain't meaningful, you might as well stop now. That's right. Leadership system. Even in youth and these advisory meetings with these babies, we are creating leaders.
That's correct.
You're being led or somebody leading you, and the benefit is to be the leader so you can be able to dictate where you're going, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The educational system. You don't have to go to school to get a degree, but every day you should be learning something. So it's that educational side of it. And then, of course, healthcare and the delivery system. That's so important with healthcare today. And last but not least, adequate housing. Those are just 8 elements that Community Renewal has built over the last 30 years of a focus on what does a healthy community look like. And then once we look at these, now we can look at the businesses, churches, and organizations at the table and really begin to ask the hard questions. And I don't even have to ask Carla, what are you doing over there to create leaders? I can look at her calendar and tell. I can look at her system and say, what are you doing to help enhance relationships in our community? So those are the 8 elements that we're going to dive deeper in this year, y'all. And what it looks like is a great question, but I do know that we need to get to the meat more of these things. Okay? So last thoughts or questions or comments, y'all. Thank y'all for letting us go over a few minutes. I appreciate this table. I was sharing, I love, this is my favorite meeting setup right here because I don't have to stand up. We all on the same equal field. And it is no big I's and little U's when you at these tables. It's about what can we collectively do together to support each other and to make sure that our community is a better place tomorrow.
That's good.
Because even when I'm gone today, like my nephew, I talked about my nephew, he gone.
Yes, ma'am.
But when I tell you it wasn't as much about what his life represented while he was here, because I wasn't proud of it.
Okay.
But the legacy that he left now that he's gone, that's what really speaks for him. So that's the question. And for me, whether we continue the circle of caring for the next 5 years or it stops within the next 5 days, I want to know, what did these rooms speak for these 3 to 4 years that we've been sitting at these tables? That's what's going to leave a legacy for what we do. Bless your time. And on that note, are we done? Yes, sir. Go ahead, Doc. Please, please. This is my mentor. Talk, Doc. You take us home, Doc.
I apologize for coming in late, and certainly appreciate everybody in attendance today. But did you get a chance to mention our annual fundraiser, the CoC?
Yes, I did. Are you gonna play with me this year, Doc?
I don't know yet.
Okay, see what I'm saying?
But the reason I wanted to
yes, sir, please.
Point out is that it's a fundraiser, and most of the funds go to the Adult Renewal Academy, which is an initiative by Community Renewal to help brothers and sisters get their GED, those who need it to get their GED. So I'm encouraging you, if you want to play or learn how to play croquet, sign up as a player, or if your organization wants to sponsor a team, certainly want to get that information to you.
Absolutely.
Again, the proceeds go to support those brothers and sisters who need to get that GED.
Where's
So
it
they can
hosted
get
at? What grounds is this gonna be at?
LSUS campus.
Okay, I didn't even know people still play.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun.
We'll make sure we get the information.
Yeah.
It's our 24th year, we've been.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, they do have a spectator ticket. If you don't want to play, you just want to come out and be cute in your white and eat, because you know we're gonna always eat good, y'all. Eat good. Normally it's beautiful weather, so I will be out there with bells and whistles on this year. Doc, surely you gotta play with me this year.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, let's go on and play this year, Doc.
I
That'll be
might
my
be a
team.
referee, so.
I know, right? Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Well, y'all, thank you. Have an amazing Wednesday, y'all, on
See you
purpose.
later.
This is my wonderful Wednesday. And make your day count today and make your week even better. Okay, y'all? Thank y'all so